Running suppressed with CCI 825 feet per second into the dirt and into the steel. Alright guys, well I'm back today with one of the absolute coolest 22 long rifle pistols I've had out to the channel in a very long time. What we are looking at is actually the FarrowTech FT7 kit, which is an MP7 style chassis system for the KelTec CP33 22 long rifle pistol. We're going to be talking about the kit, the many different configurations it's offered in, why you may want something like this, its performance down at the range, and finally a little bit just about FarrowTech in general and some of my experiences with them, either personally owning this particular one or trying out their products from a friend of mine who actually purchased one of their chassis systems for a ROC 5.7 from PSA. But let's dig in. And before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to Target Sports USA for providing the 22 to help make this video. I actually discovered this brand new CCI Quiet semi-auto, 835 feet per second, 45 grain, traveling subsonic, and I discovered it at Target Sports USA, and I grabbed some from them. A huge shout out to Target Sports USA for always supporting the channel, and they have some really unique stuff that I love discovering and trying out. It worked perfectly in the CP33 with a can on the end, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the performance section of this review. In a nutshell, the chassis system is real three main components. You have the lower handguard, you have the upper component, which would be the rail system, and overall just kind of upper assembly with the charging handle that houses the bolt, and then you have the brace system or stock system on the back, depending on what you want. There's also three different configurations, the standard, the pro, and the Z mod, and we'll talk a little bit about those differences. The standard model just has one QD slot. You can see there's two right here, and it will have the polymer top rail. One you're looking at is aluminum, which is the pro model, which features two QD sockets and an aluminum top rail. That's what I have, and that's what I personally recommend if you were going to be doing any serious type of shooting or mounting optics to it. The aluminum rail is always better than the polymer, but honestly the polymer will probably hold up just fine because again we are talking about a 22. And then the Z mod, which is two QD sockets, aluminum top rail, integrated unity axiom base button, and then an integral stout light base. So you're going to have more options, but I really like that second one, which is the pro model, and then the pricing adjusts accordingly depending on which one you select. Now the end plate, which is what you will find on the brace system right here, is going to be a few different variations. You can get the SBR stock ready version, but make sure you're following all of the NFA laws. You can get the steady brace, which is what you see here, which is polymer. You can get the aluminum steady brace, the steady brace, the tail hook interface, and then you can select different versions of the tail hook like the Mod 0D1 or the Mod 0D1C. You can also select the lower handguard. For me, I've selected the M-Lock version, which is what you see here. They also have a 90-degree and 75-degree folding grip, and then you also have different mag bases if you want to add those into the collection. So a lot of different options available from FarrowTech, and that's the cool thing about these guys. Not only do they produce really awesome products, but they tailor them and fit them to your needs. Now, installation was a breeze. I'm not going to personally show it on this channel, but FarrowTech does an amazing job of detailing that out, and all of that information can be easily found on YouTube from FarrowTech. One thing to note is you will have to remove some things from your setup to install the chassis system, so it's not going to be just like pop a couple of pins and swap it out. It will take a little bit of time. I think mine took about 20 to 30 minutes, and it'll take about that same time, maybe even longer, to put back into its original configuration. Just something to consider. It's not like a quick attach system with a few pins. Now, you retain the same bolt and utilize the charging handle that is included with them because it rides on the top over the brace system and it works out really nice. Now, once it's installed, the fit and finish is absolutely spectacular. You will have a polymer lower handguard and a polymer mainly upper receiver, and it feels really sturdy and rigid when it's on the handgun. Granted, we are talking about a polymer handgun, so all of that feels great. You do have rail systems, metal rail systems right here here that lock up, rock solid, and then you have that polymer base, and then you have this polymer interface right here. For me, I've put a decent amount of pressure on here, but I wouldn't just like slam this on the ground. I don't think this is designed to be like a battle rifle or a battle pistol where you're dropping it off the back of a truck or something like that. I don't feel like it's that durable to handle some serious impacts, but for minor bumps, stings, and kind of range use, this is going to be plenty durable. I have no issues with that whatsoever, and I really love the way it mates up and functions. Now, once it functioned, or once it was all put together, it functioned great down at the range. We had 100% reliability, no issues whatsoever, and this ammo ran great. It also allows access to the end with that standard CP33 threaded barrel, and then it's got a little cutout, and I put this large 22 can on there just to show you that even some of the larger cans are going to fit on there just fine. It also has this hand stop to protect your hands from sliding up if you were to choose to grip it underneath. Now, the brace system is great because it works well braced up close right here with your wrist. You can see it gives you that secondary point of contact. To deploy, you simply pull out. And then it also braces really nice on your forend. So really good bracing option there. And you could strap it to your arm if you wanted to. You can depress that button, slide that brace system in, and you're good to go. The brace system is really easy to deploy. Pull on that, no issues whatsoever. I've noticed too that if you're pulling up at a slightly upward angle, it pulls out and locks in incredibly quick and incredibly secure. So that works out really nice. Now, I personally love this. I think it radically transforms a CP33 into like peak form. And I think this is one of the coolest things since sliced bread for the KelTec lineup of 22s. It's like that MP7 at home if you want to get that feel. Now, it does, again, retain the same standard 22 long rifle bolt, 22 long rifle barrel. You're not shooting 5.7 or anything, but it just feels so great down at the range. Very nimble. Also expands the capabilities of this with that bracing against your arm or cheek or whatever. It just increases that accuracy and performance to a longer distance. Now, the last thing I want to discuss is just FarrowTech in general. They have a wide variety of innovative designs for a wide variety of platforms. Like I discussed earlier, my cameraman actually grabbed something for his Rock 5.7. I hope to work with these guys in the future. After I tried his, I reached out to FarrowTech on Instagram and requested a T&E sample of this particular chassis system. They said yes, they sent it out to the channel. I don't have to send it back. So a huge shout out to these guys, and I can't wait to see if we can work together on future projects because this was such an awesome setup. It has really become one of my favorite 22s to plink with down at the range. I honestly just slap this in the side-by-side. It's super quiet, super nimble, super handy. I love it. I think you will too. Again, thanks to FarrowTech for sending this out and Target Sports USA for providing the ammo. Have a good one.